any meditative practice, it starts with an intention. It starts with a decision. It starts with the belief that I can do it. Just because we have not done it in the past doesn't mean I cannot do it. I will not do it. I don't want to do it. I will not know how to do it. I will not be successful. These are sort of like doubts I place in front of me to ensure doubt in my success of any practice. Even when I have done it or achieved it, the doubt will cast a shadow on its authenticity, on its effectiveness, on the experience. The monkey mind will say that, oh, it was not real, it was monkey mind, when it was not. Or what if it is not real? And that is after the fact that there was an experience or an authentic experience or a real benefit. Here we're talking about before we even start the the old habits of coming in the way of myself shows its head, casts a shadow before I begin any spiritual practice. Here we're talking about meditation of some sort. One of the easiest and most effective practice is to be an observer, where I watch myself in my own movie of life, in the present moment. My movie as it unfolds in the present moment in front of my eyes, not just in my eyes at a physical level, but in an inner eye, which is the eye of the mind on the inside, which does not just observe physical facts or physical placement of things or sensory experience of touch, sight, smell, taste, hear, but also my perception, my thoughts, my feelings about what is going on outside of me and inside of me. There are movies going on simultaneously. There's a movie that being an observer on the outside is going on, where I am just seeing the movie. In this particular case, I can be watching myself speak. I can watch myself record. I can watch myself in the screen, me being recorded live. And this is a just perspective of a perspective of a perspective. I can hear myself speak. So this is like a physical level of observation. An inner level of observation, I may find, oh, I was a little bit tensed. Hmm, I need to relax a little bit. Why my shoulders were scrunched up? And you can do that right now. Observe your body. Are my shoulders scrunched up? Was my belly tight? Where am I holding this tension? And why can I just relax? That's physical level of relaxation, not happening outside of me through the eyes, but inside of me as I become self-aware of my posture, of how I am holding myself. That's another movie going on, that's being an observer. You can catch it only when you observe it. Then there could be a thought or a feeling inside of me, not just the tension at a muscular level, but that, oh God, I'm afraid, uh, or I don't know what I'm talking about. Do I know what I'm talking about? Or I'm afraid, what if I say something which is offensive, not nice, or am I rambling? Am I getting to the point? You see, these are the thoughts and feelings that might be happening live inside of me. So there's another movie inside of me in my mind. And then there's a feeling. Okay. The feelings could be sensation, like I am actually thirsty now. That's a sensation inside of me, not outside of me. Becoming aware of my feelings and sensations. I'm thirsty, so I drink some water. This is another movie that I am watching and observing. And then people say, do I act while I'm watching the movie? I just acted. I became aware of my thirst, which is a sensation inside of me. It's not outside, it's not physical eyes. It is taking my awareness inside of my body. That's also being an observer. There are many, many levels of observation. There are many, many levels of observation, and don't consider one as superficial, even though it is superficial. It is just part of the journey. You just become observant of whatever you are observing, okay? Whatever you can observe, whatever you feel like observing. Don't make it complicated. That first it is this step, then it is that step. That might also be okay if there is a practice. Simply, one has to become observant of oneself or become an observer or being an observer of this present moment in its entirety. Everything is happening simultaneously. My senses are doing its business, the cameras are going, the mics are going in my ears, my mouth, the loudspeaker is working. I'm breathing simultaneously, you see. But when we start a practice, we can isolate it and start becoming an observer of one sensation, one sense at a time. Don't give too much importance to this so-called one of many inner voices. Oh, you can't do it. You don't know how to do it. Fine, I don't know how to do it. Doesn't mean I can't do it. I want to do it. I want to be an observer of myself. This intention of wanting to do something is sufficient. Our problem is that when we are inspired by swimmers in Olympics, who are the best swimmers in the world, and anyone who is representing their country is best in their country or one of the best in their country. So we are inspired by their feat, their act, their behavior, their virtuosity. So we said, "Oh, I also want to be a swimmer." Okay, so whether it is swimming or a meditation or self-awareness, same thing. You see someone and say, "I also want to do it." So you jump in the pool. Let's say, suppose there is no trainer, there is no coach, then you expect yourself to be swimming in the same way or similar way as an Olympian, and you won't be able to. Okay, that comes with years and years of austere practice. But what you can, and this is what we are talking about here, being an observer, is learn how to float. Okay, I may not need to become a swimmer today, but can I learn how to float? It's like a log of wood. Wood, because of its specific density, whatever you want to call it, uh, relative density compared to water, it floats because the mass of the weight or the mass of the log compared to how much mass rate of the water it displaces. Um, if it is less for the wood is going to float. If the mass of, let's say, an iron bar is more for the volume that it displaces the water, it's going to sink. Human beings are less dense than water, let's say. That's why they can float in water in some way. And I'll give you a little bit of a trick. And the trick is to increase your volume. All you have to do is breathe in a little bit. And so you increase your body volume. You inflate your chest. Okay. Just by that virtue, you can just float in the water more easily than if your lungs were deflated. Breathe out. You become more it's not that you become more dense, it's just that your volume reduces, so your density goes up. These are minor tricks. So first, lower your expectation that instead of me on the first day do as good as swimming as an Olympic gold medal winner, and of course you can't, and hence you'll be disappointed because you're comparing yourself with somebody else who has many, many years of practice. So don't set yourself up for a failure, comparing yourself to a best example and say, if I don't match it, then I'm a failure. That's no good. All I have to say is, can I float? That's it. And I can float because all human beings can float. We're like wood. Wood floats. Forget swimming. That comes with practice. Flotation is a physical uh, characteristic of a human in water. That flotation also give myself a little bit of time, let my body bobble down and bobble up, you know, which means I not be afraid of sinking. Yes, I will go in the water for a bit. I can close my eyes and mouth and nose, and then I will watch and observe my body float up to the surface in a matter of seconds. It's a fact. That's how I learned how to swim. Same thing we can apply in any meditative practice, spiritual practice. In this case, the practices of being an observer. I can just first decide that I want to be observer and then put a step forward into this activity. And what do you want to expect yourself to do, to be, to experience? Nothing. You don't go into this practice to have a definite outcome. It is to step out of your house. That's all. Instead of being cooped up into your house, you open the door, step out of your house and breathe. Just as simple as that. So I'm stepping outside of my house and just watching me in this movie of life, physically, mentally, emotionally, sensation. You can even observe sensations in your body. Once you just become an observer, you'll realize there are some sensations in your body, to the left side of your body, to your right side of your body. Uh, Start scanning your body, not looking for something, but you will just observe. Oh, my forehead is a little bit heavy. Sometimes you may have those words. Sometimes you may say, I'm feeling something. You may not be able to describe it in words. Or that my lips are a little bit dry. Or that my jaw is a little bit tense. You may not have these words like jaw. You can say my face. That's fine. More general than specific in the beginning. And you may not even have words like tightness or tension. You may feel like it feels a little bit different, huh? That's okay. This is not a test of vocabulary or pinpointing something very specifically. That comes also with practice of being an observer. I just scan down uh, from top to bottom. Uh, oh, how's my neck? Yeah, you can just scan it. For example, I have just a bit of itchiness in my left eye, so I just scratched my left eye. I have itchiness in my nose, and I feel like wiping my nose. Small, small thing. Hmm? Whether you want to follow up with an action or no, just I'm just observing. I'm just let it itch. Doesn't matter. You'll see as you go down the throat. How does your throat feel? Is it tight? Is it clear? Is it there's a blockage like a frog in my throat, or as if I can't swallow something, something is stuck. And I'm not analyzing anything right now. I'm not trying to say what does it mean because I'm just observing. I'm just being an observer of myself. And go down the shoulders. Are they tight? Are they scrunched up? Are they stooping? Is my chest drooping? Do you want to correct your posture as you observe yourself? You can, but you don't have to. You can continue to sit the way you're sitting. Or you can say, yeah, I'm a little drooping. I want to correct myself, correct my posture. Fine. Go down your arms, your forehands, or your forearms and your hands. Is there any sensation? Start observing, there's a bit of pain, ache here. Might observe something. Go into your chest, your abdomen, your thighs, your knees, your legs, and your feet, your back, your buttocks, head to toe. You scan it and you'll feel some sensation someplace. Very normal. You may not sense anything, and that's also okay. But if you observe long enough, you will sense something almost always. That's just being an observer at a physical level. Then you start observing your thoughts. Some thoughts might be coming. Even as my speaking, sometimes simultaneously some thoughts are coming. They are ahead of my speech or in the background of my speech. Become observant of that. Watch the sentences roll by, thoughts inside of me. I don't have to judge them. I don't have to stop them. I don't have to do anything. I don't have to act. You can, again. Can you act? Yes, you can, but you don't have to. You don't get any brownie points. There is no right or wrong. I'm just still observing myself. I could be observing and acting or observing without any action, without judgment. I don't have to say, oh, I'm thinking. I shouldn't be thinking. These are thoughts. These are good thoughts. These are bad thoughts. No judgment. I don't have to judge them. They're just there like clouds. Then I start becoming observant of my feelings. One is a sensation, like I am, I am having a sensation of tightness of muscles or feeling tired in my body or feeling cold or feeling hot or feeling sweaty or I'm feeling a certain sensation in my throat. These are sensations, right? And then there are feelings. I'm feeling afraid. I'm feeling angry. I'm feeling not good about myself. I'm feeling I am not good enough. I'm feeling this. I'm feeling that. You start observing your feelings. And be at peace. I become peace. I'm at ease and peace with myself. I may be tense, but I'm at ease with my tension. I may have a certain sensation, but I'm okay with me having that sensation. I'm just an observer. I'm watching a movie. Instead of thinking and feeling and experiencing it is happening to me, you watch it happening to you outside of you. Then I don't have to immediately react and feel afraid or angry or feel that if I don't act, then I'm not good enough, judgment. All of that becomes, those reactions become milder. I still may have some reactions. I still may want to do a running commentary on my observation. That's fine. You will observe yourself commenting on yourself. You may observe yourself having a running dialogue with somebody, maybe something you want to tell someone, but you have not been able to tell. And then the dialogue goes on inside of your mind, and you start observing there's a dialogue. It's like a whole city inside of me. And you just observe, watching a movie. I am the main event in my movie, by the way. I am the hero or heroine, the main character, protagonist, whatever you want to call it. I may have feeling of I'm not good enough. I pity me. I feel sorry for myself or unfair what happened to me. All kinds of things will come up, and just observe that. Even things like that somebody was not fair to me. I feel this way because somebody said something or didn't say something. They disrespected me, and I feel rejected and or they rejected me or something was not done right to me. All kinds of things will come up. And then you may want to engage in a conversation within a conversation. And then I may even bring out an old memory associated with it and make it complicated to enrich the dialogue and to justify why am I feeling bad or why am I feeling afraid because fearful things happened. To convince myself, then I can bring out old memories to reinforce why am I feeling negatively or a certain way. So instead of constantly acting and reacting, which is nothing but an illusion that I create within myself, I can just become an observer. I don't have to act or react inside of me. I can just become an observer of whatever is going on instead of adding fuel to the fire of inner dialogue. I can just watch the inner dialogue without engaging and further fueling the inner dialogue to make it deeper, more complex, unstoppable. I basically let it run at the upper layer. I don't go deeper into it. The deeper I go into the inner dialogue, we're talking especially useless dialogue, let's put it that way, or dialogue where I don't even feel I have control over it. I don't have control over this dialogue, as if that there is someone in control of my mind. Let someone inside of me um, take full control of me. Who that is, I don't even know. Some part of me. We call it an aspect of mind. Let's call it that way. So when I'm becoming an observer, I reduce further feeding that dialogue. That by itself reduces the weight, and I feel less heavy, hence lighter. It still may be heavy, but not as heavy, as heavier. And it makes me feel good. That makes me more being in charge of myself or being less out of control of myself. or feeling less negative, you know? And imagine taking this practice seriously, but it all starts with believing that I can do it and then do it. And then doubts will come, self doubts created by myself that no, 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 I can't do this. I shouldn't be able to do this or whatever. Then I should be able to observe that negative thought, not judge that either. Whatever uh, doubts may come inside of me, I become observant of those doubts also. I say, yep, here it goes. Here's a doubt. Okay. And don't entertain the doubt. Uh, don't go with it. Don't play with it. Just watch it. Let it do its business. So when the doubt does its business, it gets exhausted. The energy inside is spent. It just wanted to doubt. And now it has doubted. You have not come in the way of it doubting. So, okay, you do your thing. I'm not even actually giving permission to doubt. It's none of my business. Something just came. I just observed it and let it, like a bubble, come on the surface and then pop, it disappears. The energy is spent. I don't have to highlight it. Look, look, look. See, doubt, doubt. I am a doubting Thomas. Now, now I am feeding my doubting Thomas. It's like doubting Thomas is like, yep, here am I. I'm here. I'm here, doubting Thomas. Let's go. Bring it on. More doubts. It gets more impetus. It gets more. And because I'm like, oh, you're feeding me. I'm not feeding anything. You can, and then you can observe yourself feeding your doubts. That's also a decent practice. You do whatever you want to do. You see, you can act. You'll decide that all the decisions that I make are mine. You can play with yourself. You can play with this being an observer and being an actor. And then you'll realize that, hey, I can influence a change in me. I can watch myself. I can watch myself react. I can watch the sensation or feeling that goes along with that reaction. I can observe myself reacting a certain way as I watch myself. All kinds of things happening inside of me. It is quite interesting since I'm no longer as attached to me. My experience becomes lighter. My experience becomes, uh, as an observer, not as dense, not as heavy. Even when I observe fear, rejection, tension, anger, sadness, excitement, desires, aims, aspirations, future, past, all kinds of things. As I observe them, when all those things don't leave as heavy a footprint, my experience becomes lighter. Automatically, it means I'm not as attached. So being an observer is a very easy way of becoming slightly less attached to me, myself, my experiences, my thoughts, my memories, I become less attached to my attachments. I become less attached to my misery, you see? I become less attached to my judgment. I reduce my judgment to my attachment. You see, all of that just becomes lighter. the main thing here, the purpose of this message is that give myself permission to have this experience. It's not difficult. I can do it. I have to start with, I can do it. Anyone can do it. And when you're not able to do it, don't judge yourself. Oh, he said, I can do it. See, I can't do it. Even like we beat ourselves up. You know, I can do it means I can observe. What is the outcome of observation? I'm just giving you some examples. This is not what you will observe. You will observe what you will observe. You will experience what you will experience, unique to your experience at that time, and your experience will be different each time. It's a kaleidoscope. It's unique. Uh, it's fun. It's very empowering. Just watch yourself, watching yourself, being watched by you as you watch yourself. Become more and more distant in a very beautiful way. You then observe yourself being an observer. एक कहावत है, बोलते हैं देखने वाले को देखो. It's a practice. Watch who is watching inside of you. As I become an observer, you can even observe yourself observing yourself. It's 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 very beautiful. It's funny and it's nothing. I can do it. You can do it. Just do it.